Trojan family, Trojan gang. Fight on Forever's in the building. And today, I'm about to talk about the rumors that Julian Lewis ain't coming to USC. What? Juju, look, check it out. Like, I don't know what's going on, bro. I don't know if the money tempting you, people getting in your head. I don't know what's going on. Now, I would say that I heard a while back too, probably like a month or two ago, that USC NIL wasn't confident in Juju Lewis. This was the time when the rumors about Justice Cherry and Justice Gibson first started flowing about them flipping, right? When the rumors around them heated up. They was also saying that they ain't so sure about Julian Lewis, right? So is this an NIL thing? Remember, Juju Lewis, he had said he was gonna shut recruiting down in July, right? So August is coming up, so we gonna see if he shut it down, right? But it's looking like I've been hearing reports that USC has been looking at Husan Longstreet, kid out of local kid, right? Top quarterback in California. USC been looking at him. Now that's kind of alarming because, you know, Lincoln Riley only go out to one quarterback per class. That's his motto. That's his thing. One quarterback per class, right? He identify his guy, and that's what it is, right? Well, if he looking at other options, then he must don't feel confident. The conversations, the communication, something ain't the same. He got an eyebrow raised to all the Colorado and Auburn visits as well. Right? So, I don't know what Julian Lewis doing, but obviously Lincoln Riley and USC ain't that confident in it. They ain't as confident as they once been. Because that's Lincoln Riley motto. One quarterback per class. And I think we got to get away from that motto. I think we got to get away from that motto of having one quarterback per class. You know what I'm saying? Because if something like this happened, in the event of something like this happening, it's going to be hard to have a backup plan because every quarterback is going to feel slighted. The #1 rated quarterback, Bryce Underwood, in the country, wanted to visit USC. Wanted to holler at Lincoln Riley. Wanted to see what it do. But Lincoln Riley said nah because Juju Lewis is his guy. Now, how can you be that loyal and faithful to high school kids when they can change their mind on you? They ain't signed on the dotted line, right? They ain't being that loyal. So you're not even looking at other quarterbacks and letting other quarterbacks visit. But it's okay for Juju Lewis to go visit other places, right? It's okay for Juju to go flirt and go see if he might want to go somewhere else, go through the whole recruiting experience for a recruit. Well, what's wrong with USC seeing other players and going through the experience and just doing the recruit thing, doing their due diligence, right? What's wrong with USC? So I don't understand why USC just go out to one quarterback per class when these kids ain't loyal. I mean, to be honest, and you dedicating yourself to one quarterback and ain't giving nobody else the time of day, but the guy you dedicated to is giving everybody the time of day. He been to Colorado and Auburn like 10 times. In USC, we can't let the #1 quarterback in the country come give us a visit. Nah, we locked in on Juju. Why you telling Bryce Underwood this and other top quarterbacks? Juju in Boulder with Dion chilling, down in Auburn with them Tigers chilling, right? So I don't think it's fair that we put ourselves in that position, because then what's the backup plan? So like right now, if Julian Lewis decommits, ain't no other quarterback, all the quarterbacks that USC didn't shade it or haven't showed no attention to, they're gonna be like, oh, y'all are trying to just have a backup plan because Juju Lewis decommitted. Nobody wants to know they're the second choice and how big the USC brand is and how much people got USC names in their mouth. Everybody know Juju Lewis is USC's #1 quarterback, and that's who USC and Lincoln Riley wants. Everybody know that. So if this kid decommit, whatever kid they offer gonna know, okay, I'm your second pick. And I'm telling you, I know recruits. NIL matters, location matters, all these things matter. But you know what matters most? Is feeling the most love. You want to go where you most want it. You want to go where they believe in you the most, where they kind of pump your ego up, but at the same time let you know you could be so much better and they're gonna make you better. So if Juju Lewis decommit, the other quarterbacks, unless they just dream for playing for USC, or they just feel like Lincoln Riley is such great of a coach, his back record, they want to get that coaching. If they ain't mesmerized by Lincoln Riley's resume or just want to be USC Trojans, then they ain't gonna want a quarterback for USC, because like I said, I'm your second option. You didn't even want to let me visit, right? Because of Juju Lewis decommit, you should be looking at the #1 quarterback in the country, Bryce Underwood, and the #1 quarterback in California. Well, both of them already know what time it is with you. Both of them already probably feel slighted, especially if I'm Husan Longstreet, right? I play right in USC backyard. I can't get a look. California breed the most quarterbacks. You overlooking the best quarterback in California, right? So, I mean, come on. And then Juju Lewis is like, what if he don't even turn out to be that great too at the same time? And you see Husan Longstreet and Bryce Underwood balling, and you turned them away. Bryce Underwood, the #1 quarterback, he gotta feel some type of way, like, okay, I can't even visit. Bryce Underwood, the type of talent ain't nobody saying no. Bryce Underwood reached out to USC. Usually these kids sit back, ball, go to camps, and wait for schools to reach out to them. Bryce Underwood reached out to USC. You get what I'm saying? And they said no. So ain't no going back to that. Ain't no going back to that. So if Juju Lewis decommit, you can't even go recruit the #1 quarterback on the board, right? And then you gotta hope Husan Longstreet decommit for Texas A&M. But Texas A&M got that bag. And if USC came down and they felt like he was going to flip, best believe they going to drop another bag. And I heard he feel comfortable with his Texas and A&M commitment. That means the bag is nice and it's cool. He'll get over not going to USC. Right? So the top 2 quarterbacks who should be on the board for USC, both committed. One to a great program at LSU and one to another program that's going to take care of you. Right? So, but you never know with Texas A&M. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? A lot of players transfer out of there. Evan Stewart just left there. Who else? Walter Nolan, Isaiah Rakes. So, there's a lot of dudes that transfer out, but they got a bag. And out of high school for right now, the commitment is solid. So I just hope that Juju stays. But just this scare, I hope moving forward that USC don't just recruit 1 quarterback. We gotta recruit at least 2. Like, what did we come up with that at? Like only 1 quarterback per class. Right? You can't put all your rocks in one box. You know what I'm saying? You can't put them all in one place. You ain't gonna win. You know what I'm saying? And then if you lose, you missing a whole year without having any quarterbacks. So that means the next year, then you're going to have to get 2. Either you're going to have to get 2 the next year, or the next year that one you get got to be a day 1 starter or a generational type talent, right? So it's too risky. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's too risky. I get the logic at first, but these kids ain't loyal. I get the logic at first. Zero in on a number 1 guy. Let him know you're the number 1 guy, and you feel like you'll lock him in. You feel like showing him that you don't want no other quarterback in the country but him. You think that gonna carry a lot of weight and really hit home. And then with your resume, gonna bring it home, but you putting yourself in danger every year. And then especially now with NIL. Before NIL, this probably was more feasible. Great coach, great resume, produce Heisman quarterbacks like they grow on trees. And I only want you. Yeah, any quarterback that's serious about his business, right? He gonna be like, oh, for sure. I'm gonna go play for Lincoln, the best quarterback developer in the world. I probably is an 85% chance I'm gonna win the Heisman with this dude. Guaranteed I'm gonna be in the NFL. Right? But when you got NIL in play, that changes things. When a bag is a part of the equation too, that changes things. When having doubt, remember he in SEC country. Julian Lewis in SEC country. So you know they telling them USC can't play no defense. Look what they did with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams could barely win 8 games with USC. He won 7, didn't even play the bowl game. If Caleb Williams couldn't carry that defense, what make you think you is? Now Caleb Williams went number 1, but don't you want to win while you in college? Right now, they can negative recruit and say USC ain't gonna win nothing. They ain't even been in the playoffs since the playoffs open. Right? So they can. So he best believe he's facing a lot of negative recruiting. He is not escaping that down there in Georgia. He hearing that every day from somebody. Stay home. Come to a real program. You hear that one kid, Isaiah Gibson, that was committed to USC, then decommitted and went to Georgia. He said he decommitted it because he wanted to be a part of a real program. Like USC is a blue blood, and he said USC ain't even a real program. Even after going 8-5 in our down year, right? You can't say we ain't a real program. But coming from down south and being from down south your whole life and hearing it from a down south perspective, yeah, you'll feel like USC is not a real program, right? So he's hearing all that. He's seeing all these decommitments, and he got Prime in his ear and Shador and them. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. What I'm saying is tough. It's a lot pulling on this kid. And he's not even a USC fan. If Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma, he'll be committed to Oklahoma right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything that USC got to offer don't really matter that much with the kid and his priorities. Who got college football NCAA 25? You see how they got the priorities: championship contender, proximity to home, tradition, academics, campus life, right? Playing time, all these factors, program tradition and history don't matter to this kid. It's the coach prestige that matter to this kid because he want to be coached right. And it's winning. From what I hear from my study of Julian Lewis, he want to have the best development. His dreams is the NFL. It don't even seem like he got college dreams. Like, it don't even seem like, you know, his eyes on the NFL. His dream is pro ball. So he want that development, but he want to win at the same time. And he want to be around talented players so he can look better and look good and try to win championship, because if you winning in college, that's going to boost your resume, right? It's hard to be a top pick in college football as a quarterback and your team suck, right? It's hard to win the Heisman when your team suck, right? So it's too risky to just hope that the coach prestige right, is gonna keep this kid committed over playing at home, over playing in the SEC, over playing with a team that's ready to win right now on a championship level, playing for the team that ain't rebuilding, but a team that's reloading, right, is weighing. So you can't underestimate that. And I think Lincoln Riley, he just finally realized, so now he's going after Husan Longstreet on the low. Right? We should have been done it. So I just hope in the future that this just prevents us from just stop going after one quarterback. Like, they're not just visiting one school. You go after one quarterback when he ain't taking no more visits. Soon as he take a visit, I'm scheduling a visit for somebody at his position. Period. If the university and Lincoln Riley got to understand that he's going to do his due diligence and go to these other schools, he should understand that SC going to do their due diligence. SC supposed to be telling Julian Lewis, don't trip, we recruiting other quarterbacks and offering scholarship to other quarterbacks. We just doing our due diligence. We think you the best. You number one on our board, but we don't know. We got to see. Because when you get here on this college field, your ranking and stuff ain't going to matter. That's another thing by this picking one quarterback per class. What competition are you making for him? Right? Because if you only picking one per class, a quarterback, he's got to wait his turn in. You know what I'm saying? I come in, so like next year, Julian Lewis come in, Miller Moss still there, or Jaden Mayava, whoever it is, he probably got to sit 1 year behind him. Then the next year it's all him. He gonna be the oldest guy in the room as a sophomore. Well, Jaden Mayava will still be there. But I'm just talking about, like, in general, if you running a program and you just getting one quarterback each year, that ain't that much competition, right? So I come in as a freshman. It's somebody there that's already a sophomore. He gonna start, play, do his thing. I might redshirt. So at max, then he's a junior. So at max, I'm sitting 2 years. And if it's an elite quarterbacking program like Lincoln Riley, more than likely that quarterback is leaving after his junior year. Right? But whoever ahead of me going to the draft or graduate, I'm in the driver's seat. It ain't no competition because all the other quarterbacks is younger. Right? I know the offense more. I've been here more. So the coach going to have more trust just naturally. Right? That's why Miller Moss gonna have a starting job. He's been there longer than Jaden Mayava. It's more trust with him and Lincoln Riley. Right? So when you only bring in one class, it's not no pure competition. Right? Every year, the quarterback supposed to come in feeling like either if he ball out, he gonna be starting freshman year. If he don't, he gotta wait. And the same thing should be the sophomore year. I'm competing with somebody where if I don't ball out, they gonna have a job. I don't have no experience advantage or youth advantage to where I got a year to sit and wait. You get quarterbacks in the same class, they got to get better every day. They can't just sit around and wait. They got to compete they whole time. So when you do that, I don't even feel like you getting the best out the quarterback competitive wise. And that'll show up in games when they got a battle for their position. They're gonna be ready to go battle in the game, right? So that's just my 2 reasons why we should at least recruit 2 quarterbacks per year for competition's sake, and we can't leave ourselves in the dry because somebody's gonna leave us at the altar one day, especially in this NIL age when we kind of struggling with NIL. Like, we a prime suspect to get flipped because of our NIL situation, right? Just like if your NIL is great, you're going to be stacking mega classes. Your class is going to be sweet. No matter what kind of coach, no matter how much you won the year before, right? No matter what y'all doing, your class is going to be sweet, right? Same thing when your NIL struggling. That class is going to struggle. You're going to have to fight. What they call it? Nail and teeth. Tooth to nail, right? You're going to fight tooth and nail for every recruit. Every one. So it seemed like we finna have to fight for Juju too. And if we lose Juju, they are going to have a field day with us. We ain't gonna never hear the end. They gonna make Paul Feinbaum gonna make another video on 3 is going to celebrate. This will be one of the toughest decommitments to swallow, because all the smoke that's been around it, and we seeing how people is pushing, acting like he ain't committed to USC. Talking about, I remember at some points during his recruitment, he was still being crystal ball to other teams, other experts saying they predicted him to go to a whole nother school when he committed to USC. I ain't never seen a committed recruit that has verbally committed to a team have a crystal ball to another team. And I can see that maybe that happened like overnight, like right in the middle of the night it switched and we woke up and we found about how the player decommitted. Now he committed to this other school or something, blah, blah, blah. But it was crystal ball. It been crystal ball for a while. You ask 247, you ask 3, they'll say they got Auburn. But he committed to SC, so this will be tough. They'll feel like they campaigning worked. So this commitment is deeper than just Juju Lewis and having a quarterback. This need to change how we think for the future. And in the meantime, they gonna kill it. This gonna kill our perception recruiting wise, because he the head of this class. He the one that's supposed to be getting all the other star talent to come through. And the Andrew Marshes. Then if remember Corey Sims, that's part of the reason he came. If Juju Lewis decommit, we might lose our whole wide receiving core. Man, it would be a disaster because the trickle effect. Oh my God. So yeah, we better get a backup plan. We better get Longstreet, because man, the receivers gonna flip, bro. They gonna flip. One of them for sure. They're gonna flip. Because when they talked about committing, all of them talked about playing with Juju Lewis and a good quarterback, and how Juju Lewis has been recruiting him. That's another thing. Like Juju Lewis, you've been recruiting everybody to USC. Andrew Marsh, every time he go to USC, Juju Lewis is on his bumper. Right? So we got to keep this commitment, man. We do. We lose this one, it's ugly. Not because of the player, but it's what it means, like, and what it gonna do to the rest of the class, man. But until then, it's Carter Sports, it's Trojan City, it's SC. So let's go.